Hello, welcome to Living the Dream with Danny, and so we're just trying something out to see how we get on. Really, we just thought we'd try something different. Becky's now massively involved with My Boys Koi. You wasn't initially, was you? You had no faith at the beginning, did you?
No, just just sort of got more and more into it, and as time went on, so it became more and more part of our lives.
Yeah, and it's now all of our lives.
Yeah.
So we just thought we'd do a little bit of a little bit of behind the scenes, and hopefully it becomes more and more natural the more we do it. I'm definitely more natural on camera than I once was. Hopefully that keeps getting better. I was horrendous.
I thought you were going to say definitely more of a natural on camera than Becky.
No,
That's harsh.
no. So hopefully we're just going to start talking about like day-to-day lives of running MBK and growing and the other stuff we're trying to get going in the background. There's lots and lots happening, but it's sometimes difficult. It's sometimes difficult to relay it on camera. Sometimes difficult to just say how it is without saying how it is, because you might offend people or you might sound stupid. And mainly Becky keeps me grounded because I'm at 100 mile an hour. So yeah, Becky pisses all over that and just stops that. Yeah. But like prime example today. So no, prime example was the last couple of days I should have been hell. So broke down the motorway, going to Liverpool with Mikey, got rescued, police come, made that worse than it needed to be. Then I had fish arriving from Japan, plus I had other fish arriving, so then I ended up getting a temp cover on my mum's car, and my mum and dad's car, driving to the Midlands to get the fish. Oh, it's just a hell of a day. Didn't finish till like near enough midnight. And then today, go on, you say what happened today, because I'm like still not happy about it.
What, just the whole of today?
Well,
just like
the interview mainly.
Well, the interview didn't happen because the person didn't show up.
So we had an interview. She not explaining that we had an interview for the job.
We were interviewing, and someone didn't show up. Then we went to go and have breakfast to sort of chill out because Danny was getting a bit stressed. Parked the car in what we thought was like a normal spot. And when we come out, I had the ticket on the car because it was on faded
very faded. I will be arguing that with Denbridge Council.
So now, so we're on parking fine for that. What else happened?
Oh, it just feels like a long couple of days, doesn't it?
I tried to get Lana Del Rey tickets from me mum and dad, and I couldn't get them. That was a bit upsetting.
Yeah, but we are going to see Lana Del Rey. But yeah, I think there's a lot that seems to happen that doesn't get captured on the videos, and that's sort of what I'm trying to portray. Again, the first one might be a bit awkward, and hopefully we will get better and become a bit more natural. I'm me, definitely I'm me. But hopefully it comes a bit more natural. But I want to ask people to ask questions as well. I think I think that'll be quite good to answer questions anyone's got. MBK is more than just. MBK started with the dream, like Mikey, our son, that My Boys Koi is all about him. Is making his future. That's the intention. It's hopefully making a nice life for all of us, to the point that Mikey's always got a good life forevermore, and that's why it's My Boys Koi. So everything's about the kid, and I think that what better way to sort of show that than it to be like a full family affair, and that's obviously me, Becky, and Mikey, and the extended everyone else. But yeah, one of the big things that we're doing, the same as what we done last year, is trying to raise as many toys and gifts as we can for kids going without. I'm always a little bit paranoid that we're constantly on a begging mission, but it's very difficult.
The whole point of you wanting to do a business and you doing what you do was that you wanted to sort of give back, and you wanted to teach, and you wanted to sort of make this pathway, wasn't it, for younger people to be able to go into business and to get the help to get there and stuff like that. So that was like your side.
Yeah, I'd love to do that. I would love to do that.
Because you felt like you didn't have that as a kid where you didn't know where to you had a sort of money making mind, but you didn't know where to put that energy into. So you wanted to
Yeah, like
help to sort of get into a community where there's not a lot of
a business mentor. Yeah,
and you wanted to sort of get into that. So it all sort of ties in together where we speak to the right people, we speak to charities where there's kids that have got these sort of capabilities, have got these mindsets, and it's often kids that don't do well in school because you don't cope with that environment very well, and you wanted to sort of, speak to these charities, and obviously in the short term, the small term, it's giving what they need to be kids. So that's like giving them a good Christmas and stuff like that. That's like working towards that. That's like the sort of short term little goal. But the bigger goal is to sort of work with charities and eventually get us, working with kids and sort of giving them opportunities, or even just educating or mentoring or whatever that may be. That's the sort of goal beyond just, just giving back. Isn't it? Just giving, isn't it? Is giving more of a
I think that the Christmas thing's a way of doing something proactive in the short term,
in the
isn't
short term, and with the opportunities that we've got, with the community that we've got, which is a great community. MBK's community is
the best.
Small but spectacular.
Yeah.
You really can't sort of doubt that. The people that we've got closest to us in our community are always there for every sort of fundraiser or gig or event or whatever it may be. They're always behind it, aren't they? So, what we can do now is sort of help with things like Christmas and stuff like that, and that's the whole families. Obviously, most mum and dads will always go out of the way to make sure the kids have got stuff by whatever means. It's just at what cost to them in the long term.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's scraping by. So if we can sort of come in the middle there and help out with.
It's just really hard, isn't it? Sometimes you have to turn off to it. You can't take it all on board because everyone needs help, and there's just so many worthy charities that need help. And then, you see like cancer charities, dementia charities, kids going without food, and you're thinking, who do you help? Because everyone's affected by all of these things. So you just sort of have to. Well, my opinion of it is you have to sort of pick a cause, and hopefully everyone picks enough causes, and then everyone gets the help they need. But it's too hard to help everyone at once.
Well, the most likely thing is that you sort of pick the thing that's closest to your heart. That's the most natural way about it, isn't it? And what is it? Is sort of helping these kids in these sort of low income communities and families in these low income communities, because you grew up in Liverpool, and Liverpool is
deprived.
But
yeah, so that's what we're doing. We're doing the Christmas spiel. If you want to get involved in that, we have got a GoFundMe going on. You can donate toys, gifts, whatever you want to do with that. But I don't want to just stick on to one subject, so I just want to keep on moving through. Essentially, this is about my boys, Koi, and the journey that me and Becky are on. And we've been on a rocky road. At one point we were piss poor, and we were so broke. Like we had nothing. It was ridiculous. There was a point where we used to have about £40 a week, and I don't know why it always seems to be all the same amount, didn't it? We used to have about £40 a week, and we'd have to go and buy shopping and also buy the dogs food, and the dogs have always been raw fed, and they always have been. So we used to buy the dogs raw food, and then we'd have about £20 left, and we'd just go to Tesco or whatever and make meals for a week on like a 20 quid or 25 quid. And I think back now and just like, yeah, animals always come first, but I think back now and just go like, honestly, like it wasn't that bad, but in hindsight, it wasn't that bad. I can imagine it probably wasn't great at the time.
Yeah,
I just feel like we were more in love then. I feel like we just got on with it better. Not money investment, but you know what I mean? I feel like we just sort of got on with that really well, didn't we?
Yeah, we were in like the honeymoon period, weren't we? So all like that stuff was just like, alright, because we're happy.
Yeah, so we just starved together.
By with no money, just starving. Yeah. Both of us lost massive amounts of weight.
Yeah, I went down to 13 stone at one point.
Both of us.
It wasn't that we were starving, I think we were very stressed and it was hard. But yeah.
Yeah, I think just the whole process of like just the initial start point of our relationship was hard. But
it's just that we'll delve more and more as these go on. We'll tell you from the off, do you know what I mean? But literally the second we got together, we had hate from the off. And I will just explain this over and over. There's reason for it all. I don't know if I think it's just, but there is. But yeah, it was crazy. And then we had that. After that, we had dab dogs, and we got little touches along the way. And touches have always just seemed to come our way. Little ones, though, never massive, but they've always been enough. Always been enough that we can make something of it. We could just drag on to the next thing. And dab dogs was good while for a while. It made good money at one point. It didn't make enough money at other points. We expanded. I expanded. Really, that was.
It was all learning curve. It was our real intro into business and our relationship and our working relationship and everything. And then that was hard, like a hard slog being in the shop and middle of
Cold.
winter, which was a converted shipping container, so it was freezing cold.
And we didn't have the money to insulate it when we very first built it out.
Layered up to the eyeballs, like literally like that episode of Friends where Joey's got all of Chandler's clothes on. That's like what we were like, just in this shipping container selling dog treats. And
You used to put the blanket over us and have the oil heater.
Little like my mum and dad, they got us this little oil heater, which we still got. I think it's the same one. And it was
The two
like
would sit, wouldn't it?
because you just put like the blanket over it and over yourself.
Yeah, just so bad.
But yeah, that was our intro into business, and it opened our eyes and it taught us about money and accounting and profits and all that other stuff that people don't really
I think
talk about.
I say this all the time. Like, there's a saying like addiction's only addiction if you can't afford it, because then that's when the point you realise you got a problem. And I think money's the same way, that only when you're really struggling to pay the bills and buy stock and stuff like that, you realise that the business isn't doing very well. If you turn over a lot of money, you can sometimes feel like you're doing well. And Dab Dogs went from times where it was making loads of money, but it's turning over a lot of money, but there's a lot of money on the shelves. And the bigger we expanded the shop, that meant the more stuff on the shelves. So
the manner that Dab Dogs started in 2019.
Yeah.
So you know, we had lockdown.
Yeah, we had lockdown.
Else, which wasn't that bad on Dab Dogs because we were dog food, so we were still sort of a necessity. And
we made good money through lockdown, but then we fell off a cliff on the end of it.
But the back end of lockdown
was because all of a sudden everyone, man and the dog, went from buying a dog to everyone was just abandoning the dogs and they wasn't spending the money. So that was a harsh learning curve, wasn't it? And then the landlord.
By that point, it wasn't just about that dog in itself, was it? Because by that point, we were sick of living in the city.
Yeah.
We've been in the city throughout lockdown, and it was hard, and it was getting harder, and it was busy, and it's Liverpool, it's always busy, but just the traffic to get from your house to the shops or to the shop to Dab Dogs was enough to sort of drive us to that point where we were just like, we don't want it. And obviously we had money as well. And
where the shop was, it was on an old brewery, so they turned into bars and restaurants. Some days it was amazing, families, dogs everywhere. It was fantastic. Other days it was just drunk people. So then you'd have random people coming in like, "Can I soak your dogs? Do you sell hot dogs?"
Axel was foaming.
Yeah, Axel hated it.
And someone would just be like, "Oh, can I screw it up?"
Yeah, Axel looked like he wanted to maul someone, and they were just like, "Oh, there's his dog," because he'd had like 4 shandies or something. He was drunk. Yeah, just it was random, but it was the best in some ways, wasn't it? But it was also really not good in other ways. But yeah, so that was a massive learning curve, and we spent a lot of money. Every time we got money, we've invested. We've always done that. Well, I am like the main reason for that, because I money scares me, being in the bank, because I always feel if it's sitting still, it's not potentially making us any money. So yeah, so Becky wants everything to be hoarded and not to invest. And I want every bit of money working for me. So I buy more stock, I buy, we up things, we make things better at the moment, better equipment, better fish, whatever. But at the time we done that, we expanded. So we turned the 80-foot to 40-foot shipping into an 80-foot shipping container. Then we put 2 on the roof. So it was 80 foot long and 17 foot high. We had 2 high tops on top, made a coffee shop up there.
I was pregnant throughout this whole process as well with Mikey, so Then we put the ones on the top. I was pregnant, wasn't I? And just like that was just
Yeah,
chaos.
it wasn't particularly
It was
fun,
like
to be
Danny's
honest.
form of nesting, but Danny's form of nesting while I was pregnant was build
And it looked brilliant, to be fair.
towers.
That's yeah. My mate used to call it some towers. But it was brilliant. I loved it, but it was essentially, it was too much work. Becky was pregnant, then just had Mikey. We were dying on our feet. We wasn't earning enough money. The overheads got higher because we doubled, tripled, quadrupled the size of the original shop. That started in a market store we haven't mentioned. So it started on a £300 a month market store, £600, £1,200, £2,400. It just went nuts. And we were spending a lot of money on the shop, and we just couldn't afford it, to be honest. The shop just wasn't making enough to pay for everything and pay for us.
So it didn't have enough growth potential, and I think that's why it went wrong, is you thrive on growth.
In the wrong ways, then, I think.
And that dogs, I feel like just the pet food industry has smaller capacity for growth. It sort of is what it is.
Yeah.
Within reason. And
I just think we looked in the wrong places. I thought growing was good to make the shop bigger, but it should have been actual build it bigger, whereas online retail would have just been such a better way to spend all the money that we spent. But it was a learning curve. It was a massive learning curve. One of the reasons why now we've got a very small retail shop, but we've got a really good online presence, because it just makes more sense to just not make that same mistake again. As much as I would love a massive koi facility, and hopefully one day we get it, but we'd have to be making 10x what that shop was costing, and not thinking with this big shop will get us to 10x like what I've done previously.
You also learned that you don't really like sitting still in the shop.
No.
So for us to have that sort of larger shop capacity, we have to have more staff, because there's no way neither of us were comfortable. I'm like a outdoors worker, like worked on farms and with animals and with dogs, and that's my thing. I don't really like working sort of in a confined space, and you're obviously, you need to be on the go, so you need to be moving and doing
Yeah,
stuff
I
all
like
the
to
time,
build.
regardless of what that is. You like to build. So sitting sort of behind a till in a shop is just neither of us are suited for that.
No, that was one of the things. So anyway, that dogs was great while it lasted.
Yeah, the point was then, wasn't that we wanted to move then. That we were sort of tired of living in the city. Liverpool's home forever in our hearts, but it just wasn't where we wanted to bring Mikey up, and it wasn't what our end goal was, and we needed to move forward, didn't we? So Wales it was.
Yeah, so I didn't necessarily want to move to Wales. I thought Mikey was gonna be a wall, and we were gonna I didn't really want to be honest. And then this house come up, and we viewed it, and it was just like, oh my god, this is amazing. It's got a little bit of land around it. There's no neighbours immediately next to it. The views are amazing.
And I just stood in the back. The guy was showing us around, and I was just staring at the back garden, just like looking at the view. And then we came in, and he was showing us the house, and I was just stood at the window, still.
It is a beautiful area, and
you go from living in the city where it's just nothing but buildings and noise to the Welsh hills, it's sort of.
But there was many things, wasn't it? So the business at that point was rocky, wasn't it? The neighbour was a nightmare. I could not stand them. There was a lot of stuff that just sort of pushed us, and made it feel like we just needed to escape, didn't it? And we did.
But it was all sort of based on Mikey. Mikey was the driving point, wasn't it? Because it was like, it's not about you anymore, is it? It's about Mikey. It's about his future. It's about sort of him being happy and comfortable and content, and not having to sort of deal with the chaotic things that a city brings while he's still a kid, and that's what we sort of wanted him to.
And he loves it. Yeah, he loves it.
Forever outside and with the animals, and that's all he wants to do. So that was sort of the driving point, and at the time we were sort of umming and ahhing, because it was a big change, and it was an expense, and it was everything, but sometimes we sort of had to make a leap, didn't we? And it worked. Yeah. It was the right leap, thank God.
Yeah, and then obviously brings back to my boys Koi, and be totally honest, it's not always easy. I know from the outside it might look like you just do an auction and you make £1,000 and you put up some fish and you make £1,000 and whatever, but honestly that money goes out as just as fast as it comes in, if not faster.
I think it's really, and
There's two
I still
sides
do
to
it
that.
myself. I still look at things and I still think, oh, they're doing really well without actually, and they're like sat behind the camera or they're doing TikTok or something without actually doing that process of thinking. Is it's all well and good saying you sort of you're just on a Sunday auction, but you've got to get the people to the auction. You've got to build up the community that are happy to buy from you and that trust you and that want to spend with you.
The community made it, and initially, I'd done YouTube, so I'd started just doing YouTube mainly to learn more about koi, to get some help and advice along the way, and become like super focused on it, like really obsessively. Yeah, it's you were talking about this yesterday. You were saying like your koi knowledge is great, and one thing that
Unbelievable. Like, I don't just mean like his koi knowledge is unbelievable, as in like, oh, I mean, the speed at which you picked up everything and the way you speak, when you speak about koi, when you speak to me, when you're trying to teach me, it's so easy to you. Like there's no, it just flows from you. Just
yeah
that's that. This, do you know what I mean? It's just so you've got a koi book in your brain, because it's obviously interesting. It's obviously like something that sort of you
there's
were able to easily learn because it just sort of it worked with
yeah.
your brain and
I think there's I get asked questions daily, multiple questions daily. I can answer them, and generally 99.9% of the time I can answer them, and I'm right. And I do actually go back and fact check everything to make sure that I'm right because I'd hate the idea of giving out wrong advice. But I don't always put that across on camera because I've just got this proper imposter syndrome sometimes, and I listen to other people and I think, oh, you sound stupid, and I don't want to sound stupid, so. I've always got this like
there's a
yeah
difference between knowing what you know and not what you know and teaching that, or just talking about that and pretending that you know what you know. And
yeah, but
I
even
think
if I
this
know the answer, I don't always want to
exactly,
say
but
it.
that's what I'm saying is like you don't have as much confidence in that, but you should because you do know that. I understand if you were like sort of just blagging it like some people do and being like, oh, I don't know the answer, so I'm just going to make something up that kind of sounds like it's right.
Yeah,
That's what when you would cringe when you were watching that, but it's obvious that you sort of
I'd love to do that. I'd
you
love
know.
to just do like a I don't know 5 minute round where you just have questions through at me and I score
I
it.
think you do.
I just think it'd be good, wouldn't it? It'd just be interesting to see like how much knowledge I actually did have on that. But I do, I have got decent knowledge on stuff, but at the same time, I'm still learning as well because I don't think you can ever truly master the koi world. And anyone who thinks that they know it
You
all,
can't master anything like that because it's constantly changing, it's constantly
it's just
developing,
so
and it's
big.
constantly So
It's like 200 plus varieties of koi. Do you know what I mean?
I
Like,
think that's an impossible. I don't think anything you can say like no one is a complete master of anything because there's always developments and there's always changes and there's always sort of new things that come up and yeah, and you'd be bored of it if it was a finite sort of thing
yeah,
because you'd get to a point and you'd be like, well, there's nothing else to
definitely.
learn. And that wouldn't be very, wouldn't be very damning.
Yeah, me. I do listen to certain things and think, oh, I'd hate to sound like that person. I hope I don't as well. Um, I'd hate to sound like that person. So yeah, that's always one of the things that sort of sticks with me that I never want to be that guy. I hate that guy. You know when you go somewhere and you just always get that person like I know this and I know that. I don't like that. So as much as if you ask me the question, I will 100% give you the answer, and I genuinely tell you if I don't know, I don't know. But at the same point, I'm not always forthcoming with the information because, as I've just said, I don't want to come across patronising, stupid, know it all. You know, I've got that sort of a complex with that.
It just sort of, I think as long as people are asking you stuff and you're answering, that's natural, isn't it? I think
Yeah,
it is a bit harder to sort of just sit and go, I'm going to teach you about, you know, I'm going to teach you about this.
yeah, I
That's
couldn't do
harder.
it. I
That's
don't think I
harder,
could. You've got to
obviously.
prompt that. Yeah,
So yeah, so people asking questions and you just go, and there'll be stuff that you don't know. You just go, well, I'll have to look that up for you, and that would be that, wouldn't it? And that's why it
Yeah, I'm not
works.
ashamed to do that either. To be honest, I will just say I don't know.
That's it.
Yeah, Koi was just a natural fit. Koi and business have just been a natural fit. I think that's where it's just sort of stemmed from. Like they seem to go together so well in my eyes that I love the hustle and bustle of it. I love like people going, "Hey, can you get me one of these?" And then me trying to get the best price, and then them trying to get the best price out of me. And I love that sort of hustle and bustle. Sometimes the price is just set; it just is what it is. There's no arguing that. But I do sort of love that bit of banter that sort of goes with it. I've got some customers and these great banter between us, and yeah, I'll never want to lose that. I think I've said this many times.
That's also being the right people as well, because yeah, you've got to have the right. That's why the community was so important to us, our community, because we wanted to surround ourselves with the right people
But I
that
feel like the
got
ones who
you and
don't
got
like us
us.
just leave,
Yeah, exactly.
which is great.
And that's what you want. We wanted we didn't want this sort of open to all community constantly, because that meant that it was open to people who are a bit more judgy or a bit not on the same wavelength. Whereas the way we built up was through that close relationship with people,
Yeah,
like-minded people who got us and liked what you were doing and understood. And yeah, and it was just that's sort of how we got to this point. Was
because there's a big thing with the koi industry, and I'm assuming a lot of other industries, that if you haven't got 20, 30, 40 years of knowledge, that you're just not worth listening to. And it's wrong, because there's people who have got 30, 40 years of knowledge and they don't know what they're talking about.
it's not even just that it's not just wrong, it's counterproductive in the long run, because what happens, it, it's really hard, it's really selfish in a way to be 30, 40 years under your belt, but you're not kind of like senseiing anyone else.
But
Because
also,
when you leave eventually, as we all do, when you stop doing what you're doing, who's going to take that spot? Who's going to?
but even if they have, what my point sort of is, it's more that even if they have got 30, 40 years knowledge and they've kept koi and they add in one koi every couple of years and they don't have multiple ponds and they don't whatever, you can sail through this hobby.
Oh,
You can
just
never hit a back,
just
yeah.
on a hobby front.
You can
Yeah.
never hit a bacterial issue. You can never hit really bad parasites, really bad weather, depending on where you live. You can have a nice deep pond, good filtration, and you can sail through this hobby. At the same point, you can do it on a budget. You can have a really small pond, too many fish, not enough filtration, and you can hit every speed bump along the way. So it's like horses with courses. Not everyone's journey is the same. My journey's been hard because I made it hard. I didn't.
You also live and breathe it 24/7.
Yeah.
You couldn't say that's just a hobby, because
No, but it
you was
was. Well,
for a very small space of time though.
I'm
Literally for
becoming very extreme. It just in my hobby time that wasn't that long was
God,
multiple ponds, constantly building a
that's
lot more fish than I ever should have owned, because.
that's down to your personality again, isn't it? Because
But that's where the lessons were learned, because
of course, yeah. Day-to-day
when
fishing.
I owned 1,000 fish and not like just really shouldn't have owned 1,000 fish at that point, that becomes a big job, and you learn fast because you start losing fish. You think, I don't want to lose these fish. And then that's where the hyper focus. And then when I was buying in here and we were buying in massive amounts of expensive fish, and we had every penny that we ever owned to our name in fish, that again is a thing of like, oh my god, my whole family's life is on the line now, because if I lose all them fish, if I end up getting a massive bacterial issue on any of this stuff, we're screwed. We got no money.
Just means you work harder
So
and
you work
smarter.
harder, and you work so hard. I couldn't always say work smarter, but I definitely work harder.
As long as you learn to work smarter.
But yeah, but it is good. It is good, and I do enjoy it, and I love that you're a part of it now. I genuinely do. I feel like we've just sort of come to a different point.
Yeah, that's just my personality, isn't it? I needed, a good year there to sort of ruminate on it, and yeah, I figured out what I wanted to do with it and where I wanted to be in it and what it was about, and that's just me to a T, though, isn't it? That's just my sort of.
Didn't have faith though, did you?
It's not that I don't have faith. It's really hard to explain. It's not that I don't have faith. It's that I've just got a very sort of got a very pessimistic brain, which I am working on. But I always sort of think of what's the worst thing that could
You are
happen.
better, because that what I told you earlier on. Well, you would have blew your load 6 months ago if I would have told you that. But you were just like, okay, let me think about it.
Yeah.
Not bad, by the way.
No,
Just it was just
like
an opportunity, but it was
But
different.
because my natural brain is to be like, think of the worst things that could happen, and then sort of work from that. And it's it can be helpful in some situations, but very rarely is it helpful because the chances are the worst thing is not going to happen. So it's kind of counterproductive energy waste. But yeah, so it did take me a good year. It took me ages to just. I mean, when you first started doing the lives, I couldn't even sit in the same room because I was so cringed out by the thought of you talking to people on camera, and I don't mean that in a mean way. I really don't.
It sounds mean.
It does. I know it sounds mean. It's not. I can't watch. I don't like karaoke. I can't sit and watch.
I love karaoke.
I can't sit and watch people doing karaoke and stuff like that because I get like secondhand embarrassment, even though it's not embarrassing. It's really not an embarrassing thing. Everyone's having a good time, but I just get like this. What if that was me? How would I feel? And that's my personality. So that's my own problem. But obviously, I got over it pretty quickly, and then next thing you know, I'm flipping my toenails in the background of the live.
Yeah. Never get over that.
Unintentionally.
But I never get over that for anyone who's watched like random. Why would you do that? But yeah.
The sound was so good on a live. I'm not gonna lie. It really wasn't
bouncing off the walls.
It was not that big. It was like just a slight clicking sound.
But yeah.
On fingernail, so
But yeah, it's been a roller coaster, and I hopefully these little videos, these little podcasty things that we're doing now, hopefully they're gonna be another part of it, because we are launching at least one, if not two, businesses which are gonna vertically integrate into My Boys Koi, which is just a posh way of saying run alongside My Boys Koi and do similar to what we're already doing. We've been working on them for a while now. Going back to earlier on, that the person who never turned up for the job interview was quite disappointing because they seemed perfect, and I was hoping that in the next couple of weeks we were going to be able to push forward.
What is meant to be will be.
Yeah, I'm sure it is, but yeah, it was just one of the things that hopefully that works out better. But yeah, I think I am really interested in doing these. I want your feedback. Honestly, if we don't hit 100 likes on this video, you're not going to get another one. Like, it is because we do it 100 likes, we do it 100 thumbs up on videos. So if we don't get 100 thumbs up on a video, I think that's just going to be like testament to that these are not ideal and we just shouldn't be doing it.
I might never go on camera again.
Yeah, I just feel like 100 thumbs up on this video is going to make us go, I want to see more of this. This is the first one, bear in mind. I've just walked in the house an hour ago and went to Becky, let's go and film this podcast. And she's like, what? So it's just off the cuff. It's random. Yeah, that's just how I am. But so yeah, really, I would like 100, and I'd like as many comments in the comment box as well. Do you like it? What do you want to hear? Have you got questions for us? Is it worth us doing more?
The comments are just like, no.
But then it is what it is, isn't it?
I know you're trying to like close this down, but remember when they filmed me in Dad Dogs and they were like, we're going to do like an advert video. You need to just like be in the video and advertise Dad Dogs. And I was like, what do you want me to do? And they're like, I don't know, just open the freezer or something.
They were awful then, no, weren't they?
This is my freezer.
They were the worst marketing team ever. They had this is going back again to the dog food shop, just like it was ending this video there, but they got one of the lads who worked for them to be Father Christmas. He was 6 foot tall and built like a twig. And I was like, you couldn't have got someone more Father Christmas looking to play Father Christmas. It's just... Anyway. But anyway, like I am going to wrap it up now because I don't know how long this is going to be, and I want to try and keep them under an hour, hopefully. So anyway, I hope everyone has enjoyed this. I am interested in your feedback. Your feedback is going to mean these either are or they're not. And I want questions as well, if you don't mind. So yeah, give us some questions, ask us anything. You might not get an answer, but you can ask the question. We are going to try. I'm going to try and bring more to this as we possibly can. So yeah, remember, living the dream with Danny and Becky. building MBK and whatever else we do, I hope you're all a part of it.